everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and you're tuned in to Madden 18 on EA Sports. This week, we've got a pair of teams who come in on different paths. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix at University of Phoenix Stadium here in Glendale. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Green Bay Packers and the Arizona Cardinals. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Caught left side, Bennett. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And a wide receiver to watch in this offense, certainly Jordy Nelson.
And most defenses watch him run past them. Jordy Nelson can run every route in the route tree and take it to the house.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. On second down, here's Rodgers. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And the 11 defensive starters for Arizona.
Tyrann Mathieu's instincts as a defensive back, I believe, are second to none. And that allows him to play all over the secondary. He can line up as an outside corner, inside in the slot, and that's difficult to do because you get so much traffic in there. And then, of course, they can also move him back as a safety. Anywhere you put him, though, you know he's going to end up around the football.
And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45. The old connection, Rodgers to Nelson, getting Green Bay a first down. So opening drive, third down, they go with a slant. It works.
And I'm wondering when the league's going to figure it out because everyone throws it on third down. You expect pressure, so you want the ball in the hands of the quarterback quickly. It's a three-step route ordinarily, and you're throwing it where you see the receiver breaking towards you. So it's an inside route. Everyone likes it, and it's executed very well.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Ty Montgomery that time, and that'll bring up second down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Rodgers will try again on second down. And his throw here is incomplete. The new acquisition, Martellus Bennett, the intended target. And it's third down.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. First carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5. 5 yards left for the offense. It's second down. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And avoids the contact by sliding. 5 yards on the pickup. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. to throw. Going for the deep ball. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? Third and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on third and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it'll be Packer football here, first down and 10. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Rodgers going to try and throw on third down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. On now is the Packers punter. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. So out now come the Cardinals. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. The numbers a week ago for Johnson. 21 carries, 101 yards.
And they love what they've gathered him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space, because the defense will key on it.
A good pickup there of 20 yards. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Kenny Clark in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Packers pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now Rodgers out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
The numbers for Jordy from last week. 5 catches, 97 yards.
And he's number 6 in the league in receiving yards, and he plays for his team first. But he also, in the back of his mind, he's thinking, if I can get into the top 5, that might affect his bonus in his contract.
The first carry here for Ty Montgomery. And a solid run down inside the 30. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
On second down, Montgomery. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable. You know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
319!
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. And with that last field goal, that puts him now at 300 made on his career, and that is something to celebrate.
And that puts him in the top 30 all time. So he's really made a mark, and he's got plenty of life left in that leg.
That's turn. This is David Johnson. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football. Well, if you're going to run defense, end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. They've got a second down at 5 here to start things out.
Green 39! Green 39!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Morgan Burnett. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
And he rifles one incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
319! 50!
Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Second down now after the incompletion. They'll run it now out of the gun. The play there, and they move the chains.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
That one 28 yards on the ground.
That was a heck of a sprint. Tried to get to the end zone, didn't quite get there, just short, out of bounds at the 2-yard line. I know the defense is relieved he didn't get to the end zone, and the guy who was carrying the ball, a little frustrated, he didn't make it all the way.
They'll run forward with Montgomery. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
He gets it halfway there with that run. I think you play up-tempo, get right back on the line of scrimmage, and hammer at him again.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. That is caught by Cobb. And it's a Packer touchdown. Randall Cobb, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
They'll drop the throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Taking it about the 16. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now the Packers get set to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk about football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Here's Rodgers. Caught by Nelson left side. That one goes for 24 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
Rodgers hands to Montgomery, and he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
To throw on 3rd down. Rodgers trying to hit the tight end Bennett, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Keith Tandy. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Well, surprise, surprise, partner. No, we know it's not a surprise. When you try to complete a pass against this Cardinals defense, there's a reason that they are known as the no-fly zone.
Green, 39.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this one complete to Jermaine Gresham. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
Green, 39.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Johnson, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the 1st half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And he's wrapped up. Taken down, back at the 25. Kenny Clark in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Cardinals on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 14. Back to throw here. Call that a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. Well, at least they won't take a goose egg into intermission as they do carve out 3 points here in the waning moments of quarter number 2.
Yeah, it hasn't really been the greatest of first halves. They've looked out of sync, especially on the offensive side of the ball. But a field goal here at least gives them some momentum as we tick down toward halftime.
Out comes Ty Montgomery and the rest of his offensive mates to take over. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Adams. And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the play.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary.
He knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point. So no problems converting there.
Short kick. Now a hit and a loose football. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in.
False start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Here we go. Blue line it.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Following the penalty, Montgomery. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That one good for 14 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd down.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run. I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here. That looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Gets it away, and I don't think Peterson will get a chance to touch this one. Angling for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field.
David Johnson on his way. A big run there by Johnson. 75 yards. Trailing here in the 3rd, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
They'll run. This is Blue. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. And one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
2nd down, the ball on the 2 here. 2nd, and he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals have cut it to within a score. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them. I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Rodgers now from the gun on third down. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Rodgers to Cobb, good for a Green Bay first. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Rodgers to Montgomery on the draw. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out of the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective third down play to move the chains. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing. Slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Now a run with Montgomery. Down to about the 22 here. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, pulled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And Crosby puts it through, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Looking to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean.
Now the ball comes loose. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. 1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle 3rd of the field where he threw that one. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will make this a 9-point lead. So a big one there as that gives them a little cushion.
And you know, here in the 4th quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute off, this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Brian Quick, the intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
He's going to wind up and air it out. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. They'll set up a throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And not much running room. Down to the 32. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. The Packers on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. Room here to run. And he'll go down at the 28. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Montgomery, they'll run for it. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. In the red zone this time. Rodgers going to give this one to Montgomery. And for one of the few times here today, this one's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there. Second down.
But he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Rodgers handing to Montgomery. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
The Packers on third down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 11. Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote.
We've seen this offense go for it on 4th down already on this drive. I wonder if they'll go for it again.
I certainly wouldn't rule it out with these guys. In the National Football League, Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run.